So when the time comes for you to build your custom plan, use that checklist, right? It's in the workbook, and it's also included in part of our rewards program. What about determining your marketing budget? So this is a huge conversational problem that we run into, right? What should your marketing budget be? I just talked to a chiro yesterday, and he said, I set my marketing budget at $2,000 a month. Okay, that's great. What's it based on? And he says, I just picked a number. Well, what do you mean you just picked a number? What's it based on, right? There's industry standards. So when you're setting your marketing budget, if you want to have success, you have to use standards, right? When you treat a patient, you don't make up the treatment as you go. You use the training and the industry standards that you already have been trained to use, right? Because they get good results. So there's a way of setting that. So the Small Business Administration says this, that a small business with revenues less than 5 million a year should allocate 7 to 8% of their revenue to marketing. This percentage also assumes that you have margins in the range of 10 to 12%, right? So you're turning a profit after you paid all those expenses. Now for you, maybe your profit margin is even higher than that. Maybe you can invest a little more, like 10% into your marketing program. Well, the reality is if you have a good program and a good plan, a good strategy, and your money is being utilized to maximize your return, then that budget should be doable. If your budget is too low, don't expect to grow, right? Don't expect to get all these new patients if you're running $1 million practice and you're only spending $2,000 a month. Why? Because your competitors are following the standard, right? They're spending more, so they're going to dominate the market. And in order to compete, you have to be in the same bracket. How can you determine your marketing budget? Well, we've given you a really nice worksheet. Again, the link here is at the top. It will also be included at the end of the video webinar. And again, you can click the link, go through it. It's a spreadsheet that's all geared. Plug in your revenue numbers, plug in what you like to see for your investment, and it will tell you exactly what your numbers should be month over month. And you can then use them as your benchmark to track your earnings. Lastly, determine the ROI. What do you expect to return from your marketing program, right? So here's some basic examples. If you spend $5,000 a month in marketing, I use that because that's about the 6% of an average practice, right? So average practice might be $650,000 to $800,000 a year, right? So when you back that out 6% and you go monthly, it's around $5,000 to $6,000 a month, right? That should be your marketing budget, total marketing budget. What should be the return on investment if you spend that? Well, if it's 100%, if you spend 5K, you get 5K. If you're 200% ROI, you should be getting double your money back, right? So you earn 10K, 300%, 15, 400%, 20K in revenue, and it should be all trackable, measurable, attributed to specific patients based on their patient value. So determine what that is for you. What's your minimum that you expect to see? We like to see a 300 to 400%, and we definitely shoot for higher than that if we can get it. So action items for you. What are your top 3 internet marketing initiatives that you need to implement to hit your 2021 goal? Take a few minutes and write down your top 3 things that you want to take away, things that you want to implement. What is it? Is it your website? Is it your social media? Is it setting your revenue goals? What are your goals? New patients, doing that calculation, determining what that looks like. What is it for you? Is it putting in place the tracking system so you can really see what's coming in? Is it consolidating software, maybe getting rid of all these things you haven't used or aren't really using? Cut them loose, things that are done by other tools like MyDC, cutting them loose, switching over, rolling everything into one spot. What is it for you? Take just a minute and write that down, your top 3 initiatives that you want to target as soon as you're done watching this webinar or replay. Okay, write them down and let's see what you get.